Back at the border fence, Arctic air blows in from the interior of the Asian continent. But Korea's bleakest times are mercifully over. Korea had been under Japanese control for over 40 years when, in 1945, the Americans dropped the atomic bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, bringing World War II to an end. Japan, defeated, signed control of the peninsula over to the temporary care of the Allies. Japan withdrew, and the US and USSR agreed to a joint temporary administration of the Korean Peninsula, with the USSR accepting Japanese surrender north of 38 degrees latitude, America in the south. Koreans rejoiced at their newfound independence, but the celebrations did not last for long. As rivalry and hostility between the superpowers grew, each began to impose its own political system, fueling existing internal conflicts. Korea quickly became a land of two halves, divided politically, socially, and ideologically. Even wildlife was affected, because the border fence split many animal populations apart. Only those who could fly didn't suffer. Kingfishers survive on the fish from rivers within the DMZ. And nearby, a few people who were allowed to stay in the area also depend on fish. Hundreds of wall-eyed pollock, caught off Korea's eastern coast, hang out to dry. These villagers live in what is now called Daesong-dong, Freedom Village, in the South Korean buffer zone. The Korean winter is harsh. The only way to survive the coming months will be by eating soups made from the dry fish. The smell fills the air, and at night, it tempts out one of the DMZ's most secretive inhabitants, the rare leopard cat. Tonight, though, it's fresh fish that the leopard cat wants. So it has come down to the riverbank to hunt. If not fish, then rodents, birds, reptiles or insects will do. Unlike other cats, the leopard cat doesn't mind water and can even swim if it wants to. But it can't compete with the otter's superb fishing skills. The leopard cat concedes this patch of riverbank to the streamlined expert. Humans have always hunted otters for their thick, shiny fur. But in the DMZ, otters live undisturbed. This one lands a prize catch the size of a man's arm. But the leopard cat won't get a scrap. The water deer buck does sometimes have to share his pasture. Of the 2,000 red-crowned cranes left in the world, about 300 spend each winter in the DMZ. But other visitors aren't so welcome. Another water deer is tempted into the open by the sight of a few remaining tufts of grass. Ever ready to fight, the buck challenges the intruder. But it's a female. She poses no threat, so he lets her graze in peace. White-naped cranes also migrate to the DMZ for the winter. Like their red-crowned cousins, with around 5,000 cranes left, they are amongst the most highly endangered birds in the world. Both species feature heavily in Oriental poetry, myth, and art, Considered sacred, cranes symbolize peace and tranquility, the very things Korea so desperately wants.